glasses. I can't even see. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'll try to read it until I get my glasses clean. Sarah, hi there. Where are you from, Sarah? Aw, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to clean my glasses here. Florida. Oh, what part of Florida? Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that so much. Tampa. I actually have that on my, a lot of people don't know, but I guess they will now. I have that on my goal poster. I want to move down to that area eventually, someday. And so I have that in the, I've been looking, I like the Valrico area. Does that sound right? Did I say that right? Hey, Julie. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. It's beautiful. I know I've been doing a lot of research on it. I'm like, you know, I really like that area. And oh, you just got there too. Okay, so where did you move from? So I'm Renee. I'm from South Dakota, if you're not familiar. My glasses. Oh, they're good. I just had a hair on them. Okay, better now. Since December. Awesome. I want to get out of winter. I hate winters. I don't really like the humidity, but where I used to want to be without my husband, that was our spot. And now I don't know if I want to go back there, right? Does that make any sense? You're Egyptian. Oh, wow. Well, welcome to my live. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for the badge. And I don't even want to try to say that. Oh, shoot. Thank you for all the likes, guys, too. I appreciate that. Buffalo, New York. Is it Diana? Did I say that right? Welcome. Sorry, guys. I've had... give me a sec. I just haven't had enough to drink today. I'm an ice girl, so when I get to work, I do ice. And then I ran out of ice, and then I was like, I didn't realize that we had water in the break room. Hello, Brian. Where are you from? Do I ever drink liquor at work, Matthew? No. Actually, I very rarely even drink liquor anymore, to be honest with you. Liquor, you know, they call liquor spirits, and I'm a medium, so I try not to ever mix that. Yeah. Connecticut, welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm running really late tonight. I am Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Sorry, I apologize. I'm usually more on the ball. I'm running late. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. And so yeah, and I've been having a hard time concentrating tonight. That's why I'm running late. Hi. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get started because it looks like, since I'm late. Abid, how are you? Missed you, buddy. Okay, guys. Well, like I said, I'm going to get started because I'm already running late, so I don't want to run any later than we have to tonight. You're great. Oh, that's awesome to hear. I'm so glad. So if you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. I started my TikTok a year ago in March. If you're not familiar with my channel, I started my TikTok because on September 14th of 2023, my husband, for TikTok purposes, unalived himself. And that's when I discovered that I had these abilities to talk to my guides. Kyle, good evening. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. And then my guides slowly breadcrumb me, I guess you could say, to my purpose, which is to be here with all of you lovely people. My purpose in life, I've discovered, is to help other people through their loss and their trauma and to uplift others. So when I get on a live, generally I get the topic from my guides. spirit guides, if you're wondering who I'm talking about. We all have spirit guides. We all have angels. We all have a team. And so if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Like I said, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Summer, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that so much. So I only have 2 rules here on my page. The first one is that I just ask that you always be kind. The second one is we don't talk any politics here. It doesn't have one to do with one side or the other. It's just not at all what my page is about, and there's a million other pages out there for that. So Wisconsin, welcome. Pretty Renee, is that what you said? Hold on, let me back up. Patrick, welcome. Where are you from? Is it Sina from Florida? Alice from New York, welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm trying to put 2 sentences together. I apologize, guys. I've had 2 days off in 22 days, and I'm just like, my brain is just not always on straight right now. Patrick from Alabama, welcome. What part of Alabama, Patrick? Lucy from Wisconsin, welcome. You're so very welcome. So that's why I'm running late, because I was having a hard time concentrating tonight, and my guide just kept telling me communication, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? And so finally I got what I needed so I could hop on here with y'all. Hold on. Let me back up here. Okay. Lots of Wisconsin peeps. Is there? I haven't even seen. Oh, Birmingham. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for the badge. I was frozen for how long, Julie? What did y'all miss? I hate my internet. It's also storming here, so I apologize, guys. There's not much I can do about it. New moon affecting energy. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on too. Different things. It's good to know that you know about the moon, though. New moon affecting energy. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on too. Different things. It's good to know that you know about the moon, though. Thank you for the badge. Hey, Marie. How are you tonight? Good evening. So, if you missed it, so the topic tonight is communication. And I just kept getting that. That's all she would give me. Communication. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? And so finally, after I'm running really, really late, I get some information. So thank you for the follow, Summer. I appreciate that. I'm skipping like an old record. Smacker. Okay. Here, I'll smack me for you. There we go. Maybe I'll wake up. I'm dropping in and out. I am so sorry, guys. Aw. Oh, shoot. Thank you for the likes. I can't help it. My internet, you pay $100, you would think that you would have decent internet, right? Yeah, no. I freeze all the time. I hate it when I watch back some of my lives and it's like, I'm skipping, like you said, like an old record. It's like, oh, Lord. Remember when albums used to ship over and over? Skip, you mean skip, Julie? Gray. Michael, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Yes, I have to tell a story real quick since we're on that kick. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Yes, okay. Does your guide have a name or something you regularly call her or him? Yes, her name is Aquafil, actually. Thank you for the shares. I appreciate that so much. And all the likes. So when I was 14, I very rarely got to have kids come spend the night at my house. And when I was 14, my mom let me have a slip bus or something, right? There wasn't very many of us. And that was right after the movie Dirty Dancing came out. And I absolutely loved that movie, right? And so my mom bought me the record. So I'm really dating myself, right? I had the record. And so my mom surprises me with a record, and she has our kitchen dining room all like, so we can dance to the record, all that, right? And my mom puts the record on and she goes, she scratched it before I ever even got to listen to it. Anyway, just had to share since we were talking about broken records. Oh no, we're missing story. Did I freeze again? Or did it bleep out? Sorry, guys. Maybe I won't be able to do a live tonight. Margaret, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. L, a little bit, maybe. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are. You got the gist? Okay, well, my mom, yeah, I got the brand new Dirty Dancing record for my 14th birthday, and my mom scratched it before I even got to listen to it. So, there's the gist of it. Yeah. So, anyway, so you know how old I am. I'm 50, gonna be 51, had the record, right? It seems to be a rolling issue, not consistent. Okay. Well, we're gonna roll with it. And if it gets too bad, then I'm just gonna hop off, guys. Thank you for the badge. Julie, I appreciate that. In God We Trust, thank you for the follow. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Tonight's topic is communication. So when I go live, if you missed it, I get my topic or the subject from my guide. This is about communication, so roll with it. Yeah, exactly. Julie, is it Connecticut? Ah, welcome. Glad to have you here. That's the story of my life. Just roll with it. I'm so used to it. It is what it is. That's been my phrase for the last 2 years. It is what it is. Okay, good. Glad to have you here. Okay, so my guide said communication. And so we're going to talk about communication with partners, friends, yours too. Okay. Loved ones, right? So at the last second, so I squeezed this in, so hopefully I can read my own writing. Do you ever feel like you're speaking two different languages when you're talking to somebody? Like you're saying something and they're saying something and they're just not understanding you? Anybody ever feel like that? Anybody? It happens to me all the time. Annie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. All the dang time. Okay, awesome. American Pie, thank you for the badge. Oh, we used to love those movies. My husband and I, my cousin and his girlfriend, we'd sit for hours and watch those movies. Sorry, I'm squirreling a lot tonight. I apologize, guys. Like I said, I've had 2 days off in 22 days, so when I'm tired, I get a little squirrely. Yes. Okay, always. Hey, Joel, how are you, Dirty Hoosier? Missed you, buddy. How's it going? Did you figure out all your stuff since you're with your house? Thank you for the badge, Kyle. I appreciate that. Always. You're good? Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad to hear that. So yeah. So when communication breaks down, it's important, my guide said, to show grace, right? My username, it's a sad story, but a life lesson. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you have a name, though, and where are you from? Oh, shiny. Oops. What does that mean? Oh, thanks for the rose, Joel. I appreciate that. Hi, gorgeous. How are you feeling? Well, if you ask everybody here, they'll probably say I'm a little crazy tonight. I'm really tired. I worked 22 days in a row and I've had 2 days off in there. So only yesterday because I called into my second job because I was so dizzy and so tired. There was no way. I just couldn't do it. Thanks for the badge, Joel. I appreciate that. Easily distracted. Tonight I am just a little bit. What do I do? I work. Actually, I'm done Friday with my morning job. I clean stores for a commercial cleaning company in the morning. And then I do a seasonal job because we're a tourist community out here in South Dakota. And so I'm a housekeeper out in the hills. So yeah. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for all the likes, Julie. I appreciate you so much. So showing grace, right? And of course, if you're new here, my guides like to use me as a guinea pig. If you haven't seen any of my videos, my whole life is out there. And like I always say, you know, whatever I'm sharing with you is just as big a lesson for me. So I'm supposed to share a story tonight. So before my husband passed, a lot of people aren't aware. So my husband had gotten sick about 2 years prior, 2.5 years prior, before my husband checked out. He had gotten sick with pneumonia, went into the hospital, had 2 strokes. Kind of the gist of the story, right? So he was there for 88 days, and when he got out, he worked really hard to get his life back. He went through 6 months physical therapy, had to learn how to walk and do life all over again, right? Well, because that year had been so stressful with him being in the hospital, and when he went back to work, we saved every penny so we could go sit on the coast for 2 months, right? And just kind of decompress from all of that happening. And so we live in an apartment, and our camper, we can't just pull our camper up to the door like we could a house, right? And so we had the camper sitting down at a parking lot that's not far, we have a soccer field not far from us. So we pulled the camper down there, and we were hauling stuff to the car to take to the camper so we could go sit on the coast for 2 months. If I'm missing you, if I miss anything, I'm not missing any comments. They like to filter those. And so we were loading the car, and of course, the day had gotten on, and the goal our goal was to get out of, it's winter time, right? It's January. It's the first part of January. It's like you have all these mountain passes you got to get through, and we wasn't sure how well the camper was going to pull because we had just gotten a different vehicle to pull it. And we had ice, and the neighboring state, Wyoming, had ice the night before. And so it warmed up here enough where it was slushy, and it was kind of like that slushy, sweaty, you know how it is where you got to have a coat. That slushy, sweaty, you know how it is where you got to have a coat, but if you take your coat off, it's just a little too chilly. Anyway, long story short, it had been a really long day, and everything that could go wrong went wrong, right? Couldn't figure out our lights, just everything was not going as planned, right? And so it was like one of the last trips to the car, and my husband still was struggling with communication with me. He did pretty well after having 2 strokes. He actually did pretty well. He was pretty much back to normal, but there was times where his brain wouldn't communicate with his mouth fast enough, right? Like he just couldn't get out what he wanted to say. And of course, I was tired and hungry and wanted to get out of here because we had this certain window to get to a certain place by a certain time before winter storms were coming in. And so it's like the last load to the car, and he starts to say something. And at that point, I was tired. Like I said, I was tired. I was hungry. I just wanted to get on the road, and my patience was gone. And if anybody knows Renee doesn't have a lot of patience sometimes anyway. And unfortunately, I was really struggling with patience at that point in my life, just in general. And so I'm going to kind of get serious here for just a second because, these are moments in my life now that I look back, right? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? And he started to say something to me, and he couldn't communicate. And so I got frustrated with him, and I snapped at him, right? Well, we got everything loaded in the car, got in the camper, got on the road, and he proceeded to tell me how upset he was with me and frustrated with me because I snapped at him. And looking back, obviously hindsight's 20/20, right? And I wish I would have showed him more grace. We'll just put it that way. That's the whole point of this story is I wish I would have showed him more grace. We'll just put it that way. That's the whole point of this story is my guides want me to share is that, at that moment in time, I should have showed him more grace. Looking back now, it's like, so it would have taken us an extra 5 minutes for me to just stop, right? Just stop and go, what do you need to say, right? And how many times do we find ourselves in our life? I should have cooked dinner. We were going to get on the road, so I wasn't cooking dinner. But how many? I should have cooked dinner. We were going to get on the road, so I wasn't cooking dinner. But how many times in our life can we look back on just little situations like that and go, you know what, I could have just showed that person grace, right? On just little situations like that, and go, you know what, I could have just showed that person grace, right? And so that's the moral of my story that my guy wanted me to get across, is just sometimes we need to show each other grace when we're trying to communicate, right? Okay, so we lose communication. So relationships tend to break down, right? I know I was with my husband for 32 years. We were together for 32, married for 30. And, you know, I've always said to people, you know, marriage is this, right? A lot of people think that when you get into a marriage that, you know, it's all rainbows and butterflies and everything is smooth sailing, and it's a lot of this, right? And sometimes when you're at this down here, communication can break down, right? And so sometimes if we show each other grace, and so my guide said, what when we don't feel heard? One of the things that, you know, we don't feel heard, so we get frustrated. And then sometimes maybe we hold resentments, or, you know, in my husband's case, you know, he was, you know, I hurt him emotionally because I didn't just take that extra few minutes and just find out what, you know, what he was trying to tell me, right? And so just find out what, you know, what he was trying to tell me, right? And so, you know, we all know what it's like, I'm sure, at one point or another, to not feel heard, right? And so maybe the next time where you're, right? And so maybe the next time where you're frustrated because somebody's trying to communicate something to you and you're not understanding, maybe show them some grace and remember what it feels like when we don't feel heard, right? I know when I think I was in junior, when we don't feel heard, right? I know when I think I was in junior high, we had this class and everybody hated it. We all hated it. I think it was called Quest class, and it was about feelings, right? And so they always talked about, and as soon as she told me this, it made me think of this class, and we always talked about I feel statements, right? And so maybe a better way to communicate is, I think of this class, and we always talked about I feel statements, right? And so maybe a better way to communicate is, I feel when you don't whatever, finish that sentence, right? Thinking about the other person and their perspective. Perspective has been a huge word in my vocabulary. My guides tell me all the time, find a new perspective. And that sometimes that is a struggle. It really is a struggle. But like I said, also exactly, what is their perspective? Giving them a little grace. Said also exactly, what is their perspective? Giving them a little grace, right? And so like I said, one of the ways is I feel, using I feel statements is a good one, or repeating back. This is what, you know, let your partner speak, or your friend, or whoever you're communicating with and you're having issues. This is what I heard. This is what, you know, let your partner speak, or your friend, or whoever you're communicating with and you're having issues. This is what I heard you say, right? Missy, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Aw, I appreciate you so much. I'm sorry, guys. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for that so much. Thank you for all the likes too, guys. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. We're talking about communication tonight. And so sometimes it's helpful to, this is what I heard you say. Is that what you said? Right? And a lot of what's been going on in my life, I've been struggling with communication with people, and it's just because you have it in your head what your perspective is, right? And so as soon as they say something sometimes we're very quick, and I know I am so guilty of this. It's been awful the last couple weeks for me. And this is something that I've been struggling with since my husband passed, that I've been really trying to work on. And to be honest with you, I feel like I'm failing, right? Since my husband passed, that I've been really trying to work on. And to be honest with you, I feel like I'm failing, right? Is just being able to step back out of my perspective, not getting angry or frustrated, and going, okay. And maybe that's why my guides had me talk about this tonight, because I didn't think about repeating it back. Maybe I need to repeat it back to, the person and be like, this is what I heard you say, right? And also seeing their perspective. I'm so glad you said that, Julie, because that's really helpful. Are you saying you're sad? You're new here? Well, welcome. I apologize. I have tonight. So my name is Renee. I've been on TikTok for almost 2 years. My husband unalived him on TikTok for almost 2 years. My husband unalived himself in 2023. And that's when I just through loss and trauma and uplifting others. And I discovered that I had abilities to talk to the other side and my guides after my husband passed. And so that's why I'm here. And so I get on a live and we talk about different things. Sometimes it's grieving, sometimes it's feelings, sometimes it's we even talk about goals in life and different things like that. So I'm glad that you're here. Where are you from? And did you say you're sad? Did you want to share? Because this is a perfect community for me. So yeah, repeating back, I heard you say blank, 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 right? So those are just some tips to try. Alabama, welcome. What part of Alabama? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for keeping all the hearts rolling, Julie. I appreciate that. Am I missing any comments tonight? I hate it. So they know the hearts rolling, Julie. I appreciate that. Am I missing any comments tonight? I hate it. So they never filter out the trolls. I don't have any filters on to my knowledge, and they filter out the good comments and not the trolls. Northeast. Okay, gotcha. Well, welcome. You're Eddie from Seattle. Welcome, Eddie. I've been to Seattle a few times. I used to live in North Idaho, so my husband and I traveled the Pacific Northwest. I don't know. She said east and got me all confused. We traveled the Pacific Northwest quite extensively when we lived there, and I miss it so very much. I miss the mountains. Terrible. I love it there because it's the best of both worlds. You get the mountains and you get the ocean. Thank you for the likes, Misty. I appreciate that so much. It misses me too. I miss it so bad. I don't know. I think I would struggle going back there now at this moment. It's going to take me some time and some healing. 'Cause that was our place, right? Now that my husband's gone. But I have some ashes that need to come out that way. So someday, and then of course I still have a storage unit. But I have some ashes that need to come out that way. So someday, and then of course I still have a storage unit in North Idaho. I've got to get to that eventually here at some point in my life. I'm tired of paying storage. Especially all these boxes and boxes of clothes that we didn't bring to South Dakota that just, need to be hauled away. Okay, guys. So let's see. So yeah, if you guys can share the live too anytime I'm on, that would be greatly appreciated. And just keep tapping that screen. That really does help me. And Julie, I appreciate those so very much. Does anybody or anything on communication that we talked about that I missed? Anybody? Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Did you have a name, by the way, from Seattle? Did you tell me? Eddie. Sorry, Eddie. Like I was saying, I've had 2 days off in 22 days, so I'm just a little tired. Not quite always with it here. So anybody got anything else keeps cutting in. I know it was storming here and I have really crappy internet, so I apologize. Did you miss much? So real quick, if you're not familiar, I have to do a couple plugs. I have an internet. See, I told you guys. I have a YouTube channel. If you're not familiar, it's under Scorpio Medium. So if you didn't guess, I am also a medium. So Scorpio Medium is the name. If you're not a subscriber over there, I would love it if you went over there and subscribed. All the videos that you'll find here on my page is when I go live. If you miss a live and you'd like to catch it, I upload those over there for everybody. Right now I'm offering, if you're interested in getting a reading with somebody who's crossed over, have you ever thought, they passed it, you just wish you could talk to them one more time? Well, that is possible. So right now I'm offering a special for $25 between now and the 30th. If you go to my bio here, well, that is possible. So right now I'm offering a special for $25 between now and the 30th. If you go to my bio here or my bio over there, you'll find my email. You email me, we can set that up. And it doesn't have to be used right away if you couldn't get a reading until after the 30th. As long as you set it up with me before the 30th, it still classifies as that $25. So just throwing that out there for you. And let's see. So yeah, my email is down in the bio, or like I said, you can find it over on Scorpio Medium also. Let's see. So yeah, my email is down in the bio, or like I said, you can find it over on Scorpio Medium also. Let's see. So I'm changed my schedule for my going live. I've cut back just a little bit. That will probably change here in a couple weeks again. I'm finishing up my morning job. My position kind of got eliminated. So this week, so I just need to kind of catch up on some rest, and I have some other projects I'm working on. But so right now I will go live Monday through Wednesday. I'm usually on between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Tonight was closer to 7:30. I try to go 7:15, 7:17 because I'm into angel numbers. And so that's when you can find me. Like I said, if you miss it, you can go over to Scorpio Medium. I try to upload those usually the next day. I have added my Venmo to all of my profiles. If you enjoy my, you can find my Venmo in my bio. If it's not here, it's over on Scorpio Media. There's a couple places. I can't remember which one. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all of them over on Scorpio Media. There's a couple places. I can't remember which one. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all of them. And some of them don't allow me enough space to put everything. So you can find my Venmo somewhere between here and Scorpio Medium. If you're interested in supporting me, I appreciate that. Obviously, I never want anybody to take off their own table. You know, if you can't support me, that's great. If you can, that's great too. This has kind of turned into a full-time, part-time, going into a full-time job. And so, yeah, that would just help out a lot. I'm part-time, going into a full-time job. And so, yeah, that would just help out a lot. Okay, let's see. And I think that's all my plugs that I have to do for the night. Does anybody else have anything else they would like to talk about? Any questions about anything we said? Does anybody have any losses that they need to talk about or anything they need to vent about tonight? Anybody? Going once? Am I still cutting out? Going twice? Anybody? Okay. Well, if nobody else has anything else they need to talk about tonight, I'm still cutting out. I'm sorry, guys. I hate it. There's not much I can do about it. Well, thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the badges, all of the love. I appreciate it. That sucks. I'm so sorry. Well, like I said, it's storming here, so it's worse tonight. Sucks. I'm so sorry. Well, like I said, it's storming here, so it's worse tonight. And let's see. So today's Wednesday. I won't be going live. I might. No, I can't hop on tomorrow. I have something going on. You want to vent about bad internet? You and me both. Okay. Well, like I said, thank you for all the love. I appreciate it. I hope to see you guys back here on Monday. Well, I guess ever away. If I don't go out Friday or Saturday night, sometimes I go dancing. If I don't, sometimes I'll hop on just to chat. So be on the lookout for me. You never know. I might just hop on. You've never seen it that bad? Yeah, it's got to be because we had a storm. So yeah, so it's a choice, and I'm going to say until we meet again.